Congratulations. What was your reaction when you got the call to say you made it?
No, I was excited. I was actually driving to Ann Arbor, Michigan to watch I like college football, and I like checking out the universities and the big stadiums. And figured to go do something and wait and see what happens just to kind of get my mind off of things. So, no, it was awesome, though, and it's a dream come true. So now we just got to put our head down and keep working.
You picked Ann Arbor instead of Columbus?
Yeah, it was a night game, so had more time to get there and everything.
How'd you keep from driving off the road?
No, I definitely slowed down a little bit, but no, it was just awesome. So it's I can't really explain the emotion that went through me. I called my dad, let him know, and then just called my family members, and they were just ecstatic for me and just know how hard I've worked for this, and to see it all come together, it's awesome. So.
For you, the second half of training camp or those last two preseason games?
What clicked for me?
Yeah, just early on, there's some of the inconsistencies in that, and then you just became automatic there.
Yeah, like I said before, as a kicker, you're going to go through those rough patches. You just have to. You can choose to either give up or keep pushing, and I don't give up. I keep pushing. I work hard because I want to help my team the best way I can, and by me working hard and figuring things out, that's how I'm going to help this team win.
You thought at some point in camp you were able to kind of let the misses go. You thought for a while you were kind of carrying those with you. Did you make a conscious effort to do that? And did you feel that kind of change happen?
Not so much. I wanted to get better every time I stepped on the field. And I started out a little rough in camp. And when you start a little rough, the only thing you can do is go out there and try and get better every day and try and figure out what you're doing wrong. So when it came to like the team periods and things like that, and I'd miss a kick, my goal is to make the next one. And I accomplished that on a lot of those kicks that I missed. I'd make the next one. So that's just building strides into what like the rest of the two preseason games and all that. Just you got to keep building and make the next kick, and that's my mindset. So I really didn't hang on to those misses too much. I analyzed what I did wrong, and I just attacked the day.
Reaction to Jamie Gillan winning the punting job, and knowing that you guys are two rookies, and the goal obviously is going to be to move forward and be the faces of the kicking game here.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited for Jamie. We've been together since minicamp. We were roommates and everything, so we know each other pretty well. And to see where he's come from as just the knowledge of football and just his holding and his punting and his technique and everything, it's really cool to see that happen. And just really happy for him because he's worked really hard for it, and he's a game changer. So really happy for him.
What do you think about his path to this point? You guys have come from very different angles. You were highly recruited. He was learning the game. At Pine Bluff. For him to get to this point, what are your impressions of?
It's definitely a different journey than what I had. Like for him, for me, I've been kicking since I was 7. Jamie hopped into kicking when he was a senior in high school. And he's doing it just for the fun of it. I've always had the dream of playing in college, playing in NFL. And Jamie just wanted to get a scholarship to school, get his education paid for, and it turns out like he's good. So he got drafted here and everything. And it's just for him, he's a little bit more laid back, as where I'm more like, let's get things, let's roll. And I think it's good to have both sides of that, because there's a lot of guys who are, you got to do this, and then there's a lot of guys who just like are laid back a little bit. And no, I think it's definitely cool seeing his story and just the other stories from guys who have made it in the league and everything like that. So it's awesome.
His demeanor, his personality a little bit. I feel like Browns fans and Cleveland fans are kind of like really embrace him. Just the accent, the hair, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What has it been like rooming with him, being with him, and what impact has he had on you?
Yeah, no, definitely being from Scotland and everything, and the accent was new when I first got here, and just like saying you punt a football and you're from Scotland, like never really heard of that. But no, you can tell he's played rugby, and he kind of carries that. He's a rugby player basically who punts a football pretty well, but now he's a national football player. So he's it's really cool just to see like the different culture aspect of that, because I've never roomed with a Scottish guy for 3 months, 2 months, whatever it was. So definitely picking up on different things he does, and how he his family, his life, and all that. And when he goes back to Scotland, what he does, how they live over there, things like that's very cool.
What about some expressions or way of saying things that, have you picked up on any of his lingo or anything like that?
Kind of. I can't say the words like he does, so I probably won't do that. But because I don't have the accent, it doesn't sound as cool. But yeah, no, he has a few sayings. But other than that, no, it's pretty just his accent is the main thing.
So you said you've been kicking since you were 7?
Yeah.
I mean, football?
Yeah.
Wow, so I'm not sure how many kids do that. I mean, you didn't want to be the quarterback, the running.
I was. So growing up, I played intercity league football in St. Louis, and I played quarterback, running back, just like everyone does. And I'd always kick because we didn't have a kicker on the team, so that's where it started. And I would just kick, and my cousin was our coach, so we got to kick field goals. And when you kick field goals when you're that young, it's worth 2 points. So that's kind of how it started, and just built off of that.
So when you were 7 years old, I mean, that's pretty incredible. What was your longest field goal when you were 7 years old?
I know when I was 9, I hit like a 33-yard game winner. I don't know how far when I was 7, but I used to kick over a tree in my front yard. So
The regulation goalpost, you kicked it 30
high school, yeah,
when you were 9?
yeah. So
How tall was the tree in the front yard?
well, it grew every year about a foot. So as I got older, we had to move towards the backyard. But no, it was probably about 15 feet. So good starting point.
What, you went to number 4? Obviously, it's a pretty big number here. Does that mean something to you? Does that mean something, obviously the people here in Cleveland?
Yeah, no, I know the history behind the number 4 here. And coming in after I got drafted, my first pick would have been 4, but I went with 2. And now just switched my number to number 4. I mean, I don't know. I think it's a good fit. So I just want to represent that number well and just go win some football games.
Did you wear 4 at Oklahoma?
Or 43. So there's the 4 in it, if that counts. I have. I haven't talked to him about the number thing, but I don't think he'd be mad about it.
So why was 4 important to you? Why did you like
I've always liked the number 4 just from growing up, and there's been some successful kickers who wore number 4. So that's that's why, really.
Making the team, is it all the more sweet because Jamie made it too, and you guys are doing this together? Does that make it more special for you?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely cool, our story, just both of us coming in as rookies and just really working hard, sticking together, and just being there for one another. So definitely it is. It's a cool deal that we got going.